Ideally supposed to, but said a deliberately no yamfan can on paper you see say a can, but the reality is it's not part of it. And it's the reason why you see said yes, every great nation be able who assassins be no and no a come out of great ideas. I would be go the baseline structure a bit so I'm what pay your mind see hono. So what designed the structure, which the physical framework, your president, your parliament, your court, the structure is there. But the next question is, how effective is this system in terms of their connectivity, just to ensure, say, the ultimate goal, achieve. So if you can't find those things, for instance, say, obiye adia etia or minor, crime bells on a fast or punishing the panel. And what is the objective of that particular punishment? Is it to punish the person because or the other side? And now to establish a certain conventional red lines, to send a loud message to people out there, so often more minor consequences are until you will be guided wherever you are. And at that time, and now friend or hinibia winim no because the systems has been done in such a way, say, and give you room for those things. For instance, in America, when you jump red lines, and yet Madam for the minister been a friend, one kasana, it will not even occur to you, you understand? But Adam said we haven't been intentional about some of these things, Police in chiwa or no slow because you say maybe you are connected to somebody powerful. And now position be a war because these systems are not there. And there are things that for us to achieve whatever objective, we must be very deliberate that we see use that particular word in our approach just to ensure say these systems must work, because until said these systems whatever we do it will be like washing your feet about socks.
So making these systems work and pimping so it has got to do with say the least human interface. Don't you think so?
Yeah.
Human interface, a DOS, for instance, say, port. Okay, say paperless. 100 much. Nipa binum sha see for so ya say paperless because omunim say omuntimi emfaso enye de also omoye. Apart from say Rebecca said, ye can say auditors. Yes, from internal auditors. Internal auditors na do ma kwakwotena ho no. Ai nim so omo no mbe check ama bibia koso no. Nipa no a wo check no ono na ma ni bibi di. The ebema internal auditor na function no. The obe sign sa de no a ebema internal auditor na ye adwuma no. Ono internal audit sa nipa no na be sign. Na one ebema obi tuo ma ne de abebo no.
Yeah, you see, and America say sir, we a structural problem and causes multiple factors and coming into some of these things, because it is argued everywhere said in order to so to achieve effective government, excessive human discretion and excessive human interface, and so it will remove as early as possible. Because whenever you have individuals exercising those discretion, very often personal way come in one of favoritism then as a form a woman. So who design a system now? You design to do away with some of these things. That is why I say this excessive individual discretion must be substituted for institutional discretion and dictate. So institution I want the objective, and the institutional objective prescribe what has to be done at any point in time. So when you have these layers of structures in place, for instance, Bank of Ghana, now you want to take a certain policy direction. At the end of the day, the goal of Bank of Ghana, maybe in the short term, long term, or medium term, and they determine the options that are available. It's not the BOG boss, but that's sort of free in the fear, but say, way, that will be his personal discretion. But when the institution, I want the objective. Now I said this direction, institution and now kasa want the guidelines. The only thing that the BOG boss and the executive available, number and say, you supervise this particular process just to ensure that we achieve the objective for ADC and so. But make us say, I am mess up. The institutional dictate and the institutional discretion, you are substituting for individual discretion and excessive human interface. And the end of the day, most of the decisions is spearheaded by individuals at the behest of individual, your friends, personal emotions, the personal way, instead of or mine way, you know. And I know that they, in the face of these excessive individual discretions, and near man go wrong, or be someone say, what is the punishment in the near my a best care will be a man exercise those your friends and discretion. No? For instance, we live in a country, a political corruption. It's not just about so be about chrono. Even willfully, your friend is saying, so one man or minor lose sika. You can be punished for that because you no make allocation, which means even if all exercise discretion, not discretion is deemed unreasonable. Now, so more minor lose bibia. You are supposed to, but look at the Auditor General report about one thing. Look at the infractions. Look at the Nema Ekom. Now what's the answer? Bisa I say, me sure say more ye Auditor General report. And you know, so why a morning show I check. Na ye de Nema ni nyina gu book kakraka na ye da beto wanim. Book no kan ya wunwie afekra na wunyanwie. No bisa say Adentina from Rollins Pencil Basin there. Yen to me who they need to take corrective measures say. Yen jai makro no si ansana ye the book about bonting.
Do you think we haven't seen that need, or we just don't want to disrupt the status quo? Yeah, because enkrofo omukuta sade no omu ho den chen ye pushing.
Yeah, who say some of these internal staff ra who say yeah ti wa complain
Ebusia ofa miensana when gusto a o share be so unsubscribe be subscribe no like no share jumadi ama from so ensa etumi akabi and do not forget to click on the notification bell say be any update be drop piano wo so ensa ebetumi akabi so for miensa no ensempina ekoso egudwa yenko ne enkote ensamra ekoso e ofa miensa ni
business for some of the people within. It's an avenue where they make money. Then I say for them. So until say a certain external force we be pushing, there will be internal resistance against some of these things because there is no single department that will gonna hire any internal auditors. Now what we say I didn't know what tenants must see because whenever you are in a particular place, you become part of the system. And we normalize it and we move on. So that is why until yaba tenasia masanya manasisi we no de begubukum. I know the day what is the punitive consequences are assign war for people who are caught in the web of these financial misappropriation discrepancies are you don't see any effective this thing because Auditor General report about one thing apart from so you see a charge you be why no one who say what face jail and say anything. So there is enough incentive for people to do some of these things and get away because it becomes a sort of an institutional norm. Enti see a person mind no move on anymore. Some of these nearman as any activity now you making sure say the system no ankasano will be allowed to work. Individual discretion, personal details in as a form will even though maybe around, but to a certain extent that ain't me affected the larger goal of the country. Trust me. Individuals will always have their way, and any system be individuals ever have their way. No, that particular objective of a minor and muscle because there is a competing interest. Individuals competing for their personal interest and the state also competing for a particular interest. But I'm say nipa no woman na say omu push the interest of the state. Na they are the same people pushing for their personal interest. You know, you see say a mind about toba, and it's the reason why we have Africa. Yeah, you know, just say democracy. But look, we have all the tools. Now, no, I did some interesting research. Now, I catch a man for say. So we have countries around the world in terms of human resources. Africa is the richest. In terms of your friend say human resources, we are the richest. In terms of even land size, Africa is 3 times larger than Europe. Now, man for sunlight, so what I say, a DNA different. And Europe, UK, for instance, aging of a beauty and a gun engine. A mindset, you understand? So the mindset, you know, say they understand, say for them to achieve whatever BS or more achieve, you know, they need to allow a system to work. Just to ensure that the system becomes effective and more powerful than individuals. It's the reason why a UK Prime Minister, they're not former minor. And I'm saying institutions are powerful than or not as an individual, and you know, he will see the need to resign. But Ghana, how the Bena what to say as a minister be a resign why the bonnet. It does because the person feel powerful and superior to the systems and the institution. So until we begin to elevate these institutions and systems and interface it with a certain punitive sanctions and nipa who said may ya deal with ya consequences in here and my way to the consequences, you know, there will be no intervention if set my bonnet and I say idea I go wrong. And until we do that, you know, trust me. we will move anywhere. And I think that
just like you were saying,
San Kasan Sudia, Yenimia, Chrome Ham Kwana Yatu about we are politics from day one, Abanya Bisu So you see, because of that, we don't think long term. Because Abino take this year, no, he's looking at the political fortunes of Obenya Free.
Yeah.
Because another day you go back to the people, Ghana for we want immediate gratification. Ghana need try investment 10 years time. But they've laid down these structures, then I say for my ability to that particular one. So I think that we need to also shift in our thinking. Now you're making sure that we are taking bold, decisive, long-term decisions that impact positively on the economy and on the prospect of this particular country. Until that is done, we'll be joking around and wandering around. Trust me, 30 years time, nothing will change. You understand?
Then now we call it a day.
Right.
Yeah, Iko, Bokodia.
Yeah.
Nyamiado, Masama Kessi for you.
So ya no echi a panelist na ma me pa wa also hwe nyoma ma kire ne nsem o ma ka no me bo ma paspa ras o panelist ba ko ka na yenu mu MPP for omodi koko we intensema di propaganda omo ye o ma dwi se omo dada ti ma mo for ba mu nim so omo dada o man ka so omo because usho koko nsema e koso o man Ghana hanu mu no word market nsema obi enu woni mu anim se ye precious na e wo man Ghana hanu ni now determine about the na word market I think so uko tine bebi anasa uko koko kuafo na uko ye propaganda na wankaza na udada koko koko no no nim ye koso e wo wiase mani na trans mpeni fo nsema o ma chire me bo ambaso mu chire mu sati ma mpombe ti atese sa MPP for propaganda ni adada no ntro e no mugusu ye o man Ghana no that's na me sure.
Thank you, me da say me ba jwan here.
We Antem Kutubati aka the heart of Dawa.
Senior Yango.
I've got the Kiam Temple to hold.
That also.
Sessions now, I'm crashing this. Minister of Interior, I'm going to HB Media. There were other sessions. I think I start sessions in the HQ. Something so much now. From an apart of the session. In some looking now, yes, some. I trust some example of friendly. I can tap a passion. But the master has been doing it to one movie. But that doesn't mean the friend. The pen for you. Yabano, you know, friend. And yes, I know that. You can at Adobum. Police station, you are. Go and air market in the money. As you don't police station here. The team by not but but I got to 15. I got to 14. And the best company for the Papa coming. But before you hear me, no I don't know the true. But I was in Chipton for you.
Okay, but I say, no matter one you.
And I look at watching.
Yauzango.
Yeah, I say, so for so much as soon and Casina Crab branch executive now one incoming consorts organizer, message one yabutre, Isha allow. Na kiwachi se udija na ujina sumu one pie tomato so jindu obi eyimpo se ohye bebi na udija akwame no inde se MPP fo beti su no ma oka nsemo enuma che kokoko afo a ujina ye yana yewa abraimu yana yeti ekongwa so na dadwa no woye edu be eye kasade kewa chituen se andi sinibi onu ko office o se no embra MPP wa abraimu no mu di bono omo magana self-defense na se andi sinim pain amba bonti amba kama kebo achante na yawo za nusu mantibi anka Ghana ni na sebi president so kokoko aso be Ghana wa atehwe sesi amite radio station bi aso waka asem no edi ma NDC no miaye sesi sa radio station na won pen asem no NDC bi kwa ni peyi bi aso ni ba pewu sa radio station na making wa asem sesi a oda announcement na call a radio good wo ni mu de ke NDC fun pen fu fili se one day ni pa na wo ni pa bo ni fa won peyi no na wata so na edi na na ba ke bo acho na wota so won ko ma asem ma wo enti anya sa du na ye ndi fun pen fu na say dey
Era say. We ba cho young kwenim. We ba cho one here.
Menyama ha na wote se.
Mejo so.
Ebe nkwa benyani.
Ebe ne akọ.
Me da se. Wa ma me akunye ma me nchia pamfo e wo studio. Ivan ni Dumfries so do. Yankopon shira ne se odi ni support over 15,000 since every NDC Yankopon shira na me catch ni se the bre enye kwa. Party papa na odi no ho abadom no. Na me nchia me MP honorable Likuma na incoming chairman Mr. Usman aka Dedewa. You see, watching Ivan na kasa papa na eto de bia bibisa me ho pa say nti MPP for pa omo credibility obi ti say anodom pre ni we minority leader amo bia o hwe pa as omo feel power no 10 years na manya opposition just 1 year keke omo ntimi ntinasi reflect on certain things enya omo di omai so what does it utio mukasa nko asa adwembone nko e call mo nko Ghana mo me sram so mo efutu bi o mfa makendo for yata se ombra Ghana because you hu amamo fo mo de be yo yenya finance minister bi wo memo de bia na okọ parliament bia korodi project o shatare fufu na okotu verses upon verses from the Bible o se oni aketua na se na bra na be bu nku wadwuma o ye nkunta o se de bi or person or fugitive will be my than so no other tell my Ghana. It's a mess Ghana for. And you say John Mama is essentially to me a man on the now all my Ghana 4 years sense different. You know so job and teach grassroots. It's a young yabu threat. Now you said we are very fine. Only I mean
Okay. Ivan, 30 seconds.
Yeah. So I think that on the own to be case, it's something I think I'm for keen interest to them because what they sought to do in this state, and some of my can witnesses of my friend, what they born in Sebunu into Kako to the Montungu. That was the submission of no case. If we say state hasn't been able to adduce any cogent evidence via a reasonable bit by convicting to a Montungu. Court no kojina so no say nsem no they need to proceed. So now he has the option to open defense and also be me and not for judgment to be passed. And I think that these are some of the swift way Ghana for pay. And I'm also urging the judiciary said they should match the energy and the expectations of the people with the way a manner court cases they handle. Not near man contentem because you need 1990 BM and I need 2000 BM and the people are part of the governance architecture. Whatever you do, you must have the people in mind. The expectations must be considered. Everybody will become a casualty. So for me, I think in as much as I try to do things, these are things that they also need to factor. To prison, but whoever is guilty, must be prosecuted.
Okay, honorable
evidence. We can say FS, Farmer Service Centers.
Yes,
and investors say. Launch them quite from planes no. Almost launch 11 stations.
Okay.
Now yes, I say corner 250 now in the long term no. Yeah, all over the country no. Couldn't even come in the street and send out.
Okay.
You know how boy we are for the permit we the many.
Okay.
Then America.
Abusia ahana everybody be said jumadi na everybody be so unsubscribe be subscribe. No like no share jumadi ama phone so inside to me akebi and do not forget to click on the notification bell so any update be drop biano won so inside ebi to me akebi. Abusia for na kan hu say so pe political ni sa. Unya me be say POG media so and I been always been POG media. No be pick up best political ni say be the air quality the eba e Ghana amani so for Makram.